Hi everybody, I'm Darren Moore and you're watching Reggae Boys Commentary.
Yes, Reggae Boys Commentary, like and subscribe, yeah? Reggae Boys Commentary, like, share and subscribe.
Reggae Boys Commentary, subscribe, like and share. Is that the right order?
Hello, everyone. Good evening. How is everybody doing? I hope everyone is doing well. Hope they're staying safe. It's a pleasure that you all are here this evening. Quite a bit to discuss, and I hope that you all are doing okay. If you haven't already, hit the like button, share, subscribe as well. I'd really, really appreciate that. How is everybody enjoying the World Cup? That's a significant matter to discuss as well. And I know many of you guys will be keen towards that and everything that has happened as well. So you all can let me know. You can let me know exactly what you guys say and everything of that nature. So just let me know what you guys think. How does that sound? I look forward to seeing what you guys have to say. And then we take it from there. So, the 2022 FIFA World Cup has had its fair share of surprises. And what needs to be clear is in relation to the what is the deal. I know that what is the deal is something that everyone is looking forward to. And I know you guys are keen to hear exactly where we're going with this in particular. And I hope you guys can hear me out because this is a player that is Premier League, English Premier League player, English Premier League. Okay. Tottenham Hotspur. I told some of the people in the comments as well that this was an EPL defender. You know? Hopefully we can get him on the show at some point. But this is Malachi Fagan-Walcott. And who specifically is Malachi Fagan-Walcott? Well, an interesting player. Quite an interesting player, you know? A player that has accomplished quite a bit. A player that has done a whole lot, in fact. From youth to now, has made a good name for himself. done great things, in fact. And clear in terms of the approach and the ideas, what he's capable of doing, everything of that nature, you know? He deserves everything. Absolutely everything coming his way. So, it's great news. Yep. So, to the question, Malachi Michael Fagan-Walcott. Who is he? He's a defender, born in London, England, and he's born to Jamaican parents. His family's from Clarendon. Personally, I think it's Lioneltown. I'll have to double check that specifically, but Clarendon is where his people are from. Yeah. Now, that is the situation there. So, where is he? Well, he started his career at Norseam FC, which is based in Edmonton, which is the area where he's from. Brought up in Essex. And from there, he attracted the interest of Tottenham Hotspur. And from there, everything worked out. Kevin Reed says, Simon, where is that youth from Germany that plays defense? Jamie Lawrence, specifically, you're talking about? Well, with Jamie Lawrence, he's on loan right now. Jamie Lawrence right now left Bayern Munich and he's now playing on loan at a second tier club in Germany at FC Magdeburg. That's where he's right now, FC Magdeburg. Yeah, that is a club that he's playing for right now, FC Magdeburg. But my understanding is that, and he wears that number 5 jersey there, his performances have not been great at all. He's 20, yes, things can develop, but things can change. It can. But we're just going to have to wait and see how everything transpires. But at this point in time, his form has not been impressive at all. Things have not been in his direction. So that's where we are, where that matter is concerned. Now, back to the man, Malachi Fagan-Walcott. Tottenham Hotspur signed in 2015. He signed his pro deal with them in 2018 after being in the academy for a number of years. And Jose Mourinho gave him his debut. Jose Mourinho gave him his debut in a 3-0 Champions League loss to RB Leipzig. This was the day of the first COVID-19 case on the island. That was his debut. Jose Mourinho gave him his debut and it came within the Champions League. Now, we know COVID happened and everything. The season eventually finished. And remember, this time, this was when he was a teenager. He was 18 at the time. So this is what happened. He went out on loan and joined Scottish Championship side Dundee on loan until the end of the season. He made a few appearances for the club and he built a friendship with Nicholas Hamilton. Name rings a bell? Nicholas Hamilton, Kumi. That name rings a bell, doesn't it? I'm sure you guys would remember that name in particular. Yeah, of course, you guys would remember him quite well, in fact. So, where he is concerned in particular, it's an interesting one. Basically, it's like this. Very, very simple. Nicholas Hamilton and Malachi Fagan had a friendship together. They spoke about Jamaica quite often. So what is the deal? The deal is this. Malachi Fagan-Walcott has played for England before at under 16 and also under 17 level as well. He was included in England's under 17 squad at the 2019 under 17 championship, which took place in the Republic of Ireland. Now, in that tournament in particular, England didn't have a good tournament. They were actually eliminated in the group stages of the competition. In these UEFA Youth Championships, in particular, England, the last time they won the under-17 championship was 2014. And that crop at 2014, in 2014, was the likes of Dominic Solanke, Tafari Moore, Joe Gomez, John Joe Kenny as well. Yeah, and John Joe Kenny right now is playing straight over in Germany at Hertha Berlin. So that's the situation now. So Malachi Michael Fagan-Walcott has declared his interest to play for Jamaica, and he says he's keen on doing so, which is outstanding news, which is something that every single one of us should be happy about, which is what we all should be embracing, which is what we all should be pleased and happy about, shouldn't it? Well, that's how it should be. So that's good news. How does everyone feel about that? How does everyone feel about that news? If you haven't already, hit the like button. And after you hit the like button, let us know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Tell me exactly how you feel. How does this make you feel? Is this a move that excites you, bearing in mind the defensive options that are available? And I guess I can also let you know as well, based on the options. So let's just basically say it, shall we? Let's go through it one by one and see where we stack up. Yeah, let's do that. All right, central defense. All right, I'll work on that. Malachi Fagan-Walcott. Remember the name. Central defense. Damian Lowe, Richard King, Adrian Mariappa, Jamoy Topi, Ethan Pinnock, Liam Moore. That's 6 players right there, right? That's 6 players that I've just made mention of right now, and that's only central defense. That's only central defense, and I'm sure if I'm being open and frank with you all, there are names there that I haven't mentioned. You know, Jabane Brown can play centre back, but we know him playing right back, don't we? Exactly. In addition, I didn't say Curtis Tilt, which would have made it 7. I didn't say Tarek Jimenez, which would have made it 8. I didn't say Damani Ozzy, which would make it 9. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say Jordan Scarlett, which would make it 10. I didn't say Ajan Talbot, which would make it 11. And that's the one I sent off. And now we're adding Malachi Fagan-Walcott into the mix. Where would he stack up in that list? Where would he stack? Well, in terms of Malachi as a defender, what I can tell you specifically is that in relation to where he is, his development, and where he is as an individual, quite simply, he is a progressive defender. Extremely progressive. He's 20 years old, 6'2", And as you know, men, usually they stop growing at 20, 21. So there could be another inch that he could gain, or 2 inches. So the size, the strength are there 100%. He's 20 years old. 20 years old. 20 years old. Can you believe that? 20 years old. So let me answer Ian Campbell's question for a moment. What about Luke Badley Morgan? He is our best young defender. Bailey Badley Morgan is 19. He turns 20 next year. Luke, basically, in terms of, I understand what you're saying. Would I give him a call to the national team? The conversation that I had with Ricardo Fulla is basically from what he saw at the under-21s. He's coming back from injury, so basically it's about ensuring that he continues his work and everything of that nature. He's already on some good wages right now, on £4,000 per week. Certainly, I think that over time into the new year, it'll be great. An interview was also done with Richard King today, and he spoke about 2023 being a big year for him. Very, very big year, bearing in mind the obligations that lie ahead within the CONCACAF Nations League, as we know. And you look at the table at this point in time. Mexico are second in the table right now. Mexico has Suriname to play, right? And if Mexico defeats Suriname, then quite simply, you know what that means? That means that Jamaica will need to go and beat Mexico in March in order to advance to the semifinals of the Nations League. Now, you all saw what Mexico did at the World Cup. Now, and I'll be honest with you, I'm very disappointed that Mexico are not in the round of 16. I really am. Extremely disappointed, in fact. Personally, I believe that Mexico should be at a quarterfinal at every single World Cup. That's my humble opinion about the matter. I genuinely feel that a team with their talent pool, their ability, that is what they deserve to be. Personally, though, I feel like they drifted away from their values, which is what led to this early exit in the tournament, amongst many, many other reasons. Mexico are a team known. Let me start with Mexico in relation to what they're used to doing from a coaching standpoint. Now, in a coaching standpoint, Mexico had a Argentine coach. Now, in relation to the coaches that Mexico have had in previous cycles, it's been different. Very, very, very different. As it relates to Mexico, they've had success with Mexican-born coaches. When they've drifted from that model, it's not been great. Martino, the Argentine, I think that Mexico has regressed under him. Honestly speaking, they've regressed. Mexico's best runs at a World Cup was in 1970 and 1986. And guess what? They went to the quarterfinals of both of those tournaments in particular. Yeah, that's right. Seriously. And Mexico, in terms of that run for that 1970 tournament, they were led by Raúl Cárdenas. Raúl Cárdenas in 1970 was the coach of the Mexican team that got to the quarterfinals of the World Cup. 1970. Sven-Göran Eriksson, he might have gotten the team to the final round, but personally, I didn't see the great impact that he had. Javier Aguirre great coach. La Volpe, I think he did quite decently with the team. Jose Manuel de la Torre, good job. Decent job. Juan Carlos Osorio, Colombian. It was okay, but it wasn't wow, if you understand what I mean. Yeah, you follow Luke closely. Yeah, I know. But I'm being completely frank and honest with you guys that Jamaica can beat Mexico. Jamaica can beat Mexico right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. What are your thoughts? Let me know your thoughts if you guys want to call in to give your Yes, this is the player that I was referring to. Malachi Fagan-Walcott, Premier League player, plays at Tottenham Hotspur, and he's a central defender. Now, as it relates to Jamaica, there is a window, not a window, but there will be an opportunity prior to the Mexico encounter to play a friendly match in particular. And that is something that is being ironed out and worked out at this point in time. That's for March 24. March 26 is a game against Mexico in the Nations League. Now, Jamaica in the Nations League are in Group A of the Nations League. And what I'm about to do is show you exactly where we are in relation to the table and why I view this as a grand opportunity for Jamaica to take victory. Take a look at it and you see exactly with what I'm saying. If you look at the table right now, you'll be able to see exactly. As it stands, Jamaica are at the top of the table. A win and 2 draws. Should have been 3 wins. Should have been, but we move on. In my opinion, it should have been 3 wins. But even the Suriname game, a late goal should have been conceded. Cool. Jamaica on 7 points, Mexico on 4 points. But now it's a scenario where Mexico, they have Suriname to play in Suriname. Yep, in Suriname. At the Frank Esed Stadion in Paramaribo. If Mexico wins that, they go to 7 points. Jamaica is still on 5. Jamaica would need to beat Mexico in Mexico on March 26 to advance to the Nations League finals, which basically in itself is the semifinals of the CONCACAF Nations League. And they would play one of Panama, Costa Rica, Honduras, or Canada. I guess you could say Curacao is still in it. Group D is El Salvador, USA, and Grenada. Yeah, this is an interesting one, because even El Salvador, they drop points to Grenada. So it could be the United States as well. And come June, we'll have the Gold Cup. And prior to the Gold Cup will be the Nations League semifinals and finals. So that 2-game period would be the grand chance for Jamaica to get great practice and warm up and also to win a trophy. How much times have we spoken about the importance of winning a trophy? The importance of it, how key this is. Simon, he is playing Premier League 2. I thought you said he's playing EPL. Isn't he attached to an EPL team? Yes, that's what I said. I said Premier League player. Simon, what about Lloyd Kelly Mason? Oh, Mason Holgate. The reality with Lloyd Kelly specifically is that Lloyd Kelly has not been contacted at all. He's a defender, plays for Bournemouth, yes, but he has not been contacted by anyone at all. And Mason Holgate is, at this point in time, not too keen. Well, if you want to be super, super technical about it, Bexter Lembexio made his debut actually in a cup game. That's where he made his debut. If you want to be super, super technical about it. Well, like I said, I'm not. Well, yes, he's right back. I'm talking about a centre back. And the centre back that I'm referring to is Malachi Fagan-Walcott, who's ready, willing, able, ready to chomp in at the bit to represent Jamaica. Somebody that is keen on passport information and everything of that nature. So these are some outstanding information. Tyler Roberts, also at Wolves as well. Dexter is in development and squad and the under-23s at Wolves. Remember, Luke Matheson is still there as well, the man that scored against Manchester United for Rochdale in the League Cup a couple of years ago under Ollie. Yeah, he's still at Wolves. It's been quite a journey that he had, the 20-year-old. League One, going on loan, Scottish Championship. So he's had his fair share of experience as well. And I have no doubt that he will be part of the first team at some point in the future. I know people are looking at Cohen Brommel as well. Cohen Brommel, the guy that Arsenal signed up, people were like, wow, you just signed this kid that just got fired from his job at Bentley. So, yeah, quite a story. I'm aware of that. I was just making the point that he made his debut in a cup game. That's what I said. That's all, Chris. But I do understand the point that you're making. So, yeah, fully get you. 110%, you know? So, I get it. I really do. What's next? Oh. Cohen Brommel, left back. I guess you could say has made his impact at Hensford Town. Hensford Town is where that sort of impact was made. And things just fell into place from there on in. Arsenal trained with the first team, joined the first team's tour of Australia and China, went out on loan to Birmingham. But Unai Emery, he wasn't really in Unai Emery's plans. But things changed tremendously. And now he's built his way up. Now a championship player at Rotherham United are now pushing at 26. Something could happen, you never know. Carl Jenkinson, can you believe he's 30 now? Yeah, he's at Newcastle Jets right now. Yeah. Simon, what about Reece Nelson? We need to call him. He's a good player. Tevin Campbell, a very, very good player. Personally, I think a player that could make an impact for Jamaica. And someone that, in my view, could be an X factor moving forward. Like I said, guys, when you bear in mind the commitments that Jamaica will have in 2023, the depth will be tremendously important in terms of the needs. Because think about it for a moment. You have the Nations League, right? That will be the next assignment. And then if Jamaica is able to get a victory over the Mexicans, then you have the Nations League finals itself. And those are two games, a semi-final, final, and semi-final or third place playoff. And then after that, you have the Gold Cup. And then after the Gold Cup, you have friendlies as well. And another CONCACAF Nations League cycle. You know what I mean? So that in itself shows you everything that is there, because you can be assured that, and I know there was a question in it as it relates to the interview that I did with Mr. Chung quite recently. All FIFA windows will be active. It's not a if or a but or maybe. Jamaica will be utilizing all FIFA periods. The question is, when we utilize those FIFA periods, can we ensure that those FIFA periods are utilized efficiently? If there is that FIFA window, let's get 2 games instead of 1 in that window. Yes, we want to get high profile games, but to me, if it's 1 high profile game and another game against the Cayman Islands or Bermuda, it doesn't matter to me at all. It doesn't matter to me if Jamaica plays the high profile game against Brazil and the second game is against Montserrat. It doesn't matter to me. Because you know why? We're getting games. Very, very important games. Very, very, very important games. So for me, it doesn't bother me at all. It really doesn't. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comments as well. Simon Lloyd Kelly's 24 years old, captain of Bournemouth. Those are the kind of players the coach needs to approach. Good player. I've been impressed by what I've seen with him as well. And there's nothing that you've said that I disagree with. What's the deal with Ramsey in the midfield at Aston Villa, says Tevin Campbell. Tevin, the reality of the situation is that he's not been approached at all. Simon, why don't they try to approach the EPL players? The reality is the situation is that the contact info, and Mr. Speed asks me for contact info of players, and I would assist where that is concerned in terms of getting the contact info. But a lot of times, if it's not down to contact info, then perhaps it's just not a priority. But the only thing that stops them from speaking to players would be the contact for the agent or for the player specifically. That's the only thing that could or may slow down the process of things. So that's where the situation is, you know? I hope that answers your question, Chris. But if you have further questions, then please go ahead and let me know. Let me hear what you guys have to say, what you have to say, I should say, rather, and see what you guys... I look forward to that. Should be fun, right? Should be good. And guys, if you haven't already, you know what you need to do. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button as well. All right, how does that sound? Hope that sounds good to everybody. Can Jamaica beat Montserrat? All right, Lee, I'm going to be completely frank and honest with you. If we had this conversation 10 years ago, I would say Jamaica would easily dispatch of the Emerald Boys. But you ask me this question right now in 2022, and the question that you ask is, can Jamaica beat Montserrat? And my honest answer to that question to you is Jamaica can beat them, but it will be extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. So Montserrat has significantly made good impact in their program. And you see it within the caliber of players that they've called upon. Lucas Kimon, Salford City Football Club. Brandon Comley, Walsall. Kaleem Simon, Fleetwood United. Yeah. Spencer Ware Daly, Inchbeck United. Yeah. Lyle Taylor, Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest is Premier League team. Yeah. Right. Messiah McDonald, Shepsett Dynamo. Okay, where I'm going with this? Alex Dyer was born in Sweden, but plays for Montserrat. Good players. Really good players. Adrian Clifton, Spencer Ware Daly, Nathan Pond. Good players. Honestly. Really, really good players. And it's funny that Jamaica has never played them before. But everything in due time. Nothing happens before its time. So that's where we are right now. Simon, don't you think the new coach is the right person to approach the players because he's well known in Europe? If I'm being completely honest with you, I'm not saying that he should not approach the players. All I'm saying is that he should not be the only person to do so. And let me explain why I say that. The coach is expected to live on the island, and he will be up and down the island looking at players locally, right? In the JPL. Now, on those situations, obviously, you can't be in two places at one time. So when you have players that are plying their trade within England, personally, this is my view, that Joby McAnuff is in charge of the south of England, London, Essex, Cornwall, Bristol, Hertfordshire, Bedfordshire, Oxfordshire. Anything in the south, Joby McAnuff handles that. Anything in the Midlands, Darren Moore handles that. And everything up north, north meaning Manchester, Yorkshire, Merseyside, Cumbria, Tyne and Wear, Durham, Northumberland, I handle that. Personally, that's how I think it should go. That's how I think it should go, I should say. But to answer your question, no, I don't think that it should only be the coach. I don't think it should only be the coach, to be honest with you. No, I don't think it should be that way. I honestly think that Joby McAnuff should have a role in talking as well and sharing his story about playing for Jamaica. I think Paul Hall should also have a say as well in terms of players from the south, because England is, we all know how England is, and you have different regions and so on and so forth. So I think if Joby focuses on the south with Paul Hall, just look at London, Darren Moore, the Midlands. So that's the way I think it should be broken down. Hope they pick Amari Hutchinson in the next Nations League. Well, if he is, put it this way, if Amari Hutchinson is if he's fit and playing, I expect him to be called up. Timor Peterkin says, up, Simon, up. How are you doing? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys having a good day. I hope everybody's doing well. How's everybody enjoying the World Cup? Is everybody enjoying it? Certainly, it's a lot of excitement, you know. As you can imagine, you will have surprises. What is the shock of the tournament? Is it Belgium going home early, or is it Germany going home early? Which one of the two? Which one of the two? Yeah. Which one of the two is true? Let us know. Let us know your thoughts. Let me know. what you guys think. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Jermaine Roberts says, good night. Good evening. How are you doing? Saving Cameron says, Keita should be in the team. I agree. Absolutely. Team Portikin says, I'm doing all right, my bro. Good to hear from you, man. Good to hear from you. Hope everybody is doing well as well. What a day we had, as it relates to the results. The results were crazy in some instances, Can you believe Morocco has topped a group at a World Cup? The first African team since 1998 to do so. That is just simply amazing. Who would have thought it would be the Dutch and Senegal to go through? Many people would say, okay, the Dutch and Ecuador. Who would have thought it would be England and the United States? Some people said, oh, maybe England, Wales. Who would have thought it would be Argentina, Poland? Some people said Argentina, Mexico. But it is what it is, This is how everything panned out. Group D, France and Australia. Not France and Denmark, but France and Australia. Yeah. Japan and Germany. And at one point, it was Japan and Costa Rica going through. Just let that sink in. Croatia through. Belgium scored 1 goal the entire tournament, and that was Michy Batshuayi. Oh, unbelievable. Seriously, unbelievable. It is just absolutely shocking. Group G takes the spotlight tomorrow. Brazil, Cameroon. Big games tomorrow. Big results to be known. We'll see, because there's still a few more places to be decided in that sort of round of 16 brackets. Both team, because I want Brazil to beat them badly. You want Brazil to beat Cameroon badly? Interesting. Didn't hear that concept before, but okay. Team says, Morocco is like this. What should we do now? Because we never... Morocco actually went to the round of 16 of the 1986 World Cup. They defeated Portugal in that tournament. They drew with England. And I think they were eliminated by West Germany in that tournament. So it's their first time in the last 16 since 1986. And they're playing Spain, So it is an interesting one. A really, really, really interesting one. Didn't expect it at all. I didn't. Caught me off guard in some aspect. It was shocking. It really, really was. But it is what it is. So that's where we are. Situation. Inter Spain has no chance against Morocco. Interesting. All right, then you're saying Morocco is going to go to the quarterfinals of the World Cup. Okay. Interesting. All right. What I can say, though, is that every World Cup you have that one team that goes on a run that is unexpected or a passage that is in some people's eyes, favorable. So I'll give you an example. 2002 Germany, they defeated Paraguay, USA, and South Korea to get to the final. 2006, Portugal, they defeated the Dutch and England to get to a semi-final. 2010, Uruguay defeated South Korea and Ghana to get to a World Cup semi-final. 2014, the Dutch defeated Mexico and Costa Rica to get to a World Cup semi-final. And 2018, England got the better of Colombia and Sweden to get to a World Cup semi-final. So which team in 2022 will have a quote-unquote smooth passage, if any? Will there even be a smooth passage? Well, there's still that conversation to take place. But right now, as we speak, it's the Netherlands against the USA, Argentina against Australia. That's for Saturday. Sunday is France, Poland, and England, Senegal. Monday is Japan, Croatia. Both teams met in 1998 and 2006. In 2006, the match ended 0-0. In 1998, Croatia won 1-0. Davor Suker scored in that game. The other game on Monday will be winner of Group G, which most likely will be Brazil, and Brazil against runner-up of H. Runner-up of H could be Uruguay. So it could be Brazil-Uruguay, could be Brazil-Ghana, or Brazil against South Korea. Because the only way Portugal slips is if Ghana beats Uruguay. The only way that Portugal would slip to second in the group is if Ghana goes and beats Uruguay, while Portugal goes and loses to South Korea. So Portugal has a +3 goal difference right now. Let's say Ghana defeats Uruguay 2-0. Right? Then Ghana would have 7 goals for and 5 against, a +2. And let's say Portugal loses 1-0 to South Korea. That means that Portugal would end up second and Ghana would end up first, which means that it would be Brazil against Portugal in the round of 16. Can you imagine if that were to happen? And that would also mean it would set up Argentina against Portugal in the semi-finals. Well, it could. Messi versus Ronaldo in the semi-finals. It could. It could. It could. It could. We shall see. But a lot of football to be played. Quite a bit. A bit to get through. Simon, it was that Japan team beat Jamaica and some of the fans laughed. So who is Germany and Spain to Jamaica and Japan beat them? True. True. I understand. Very good point. You don't want Brazil to play Morocco. Well, I don't. Well, they're on the other side of the draw, so there's nothing for you to worry about. But yeah, I understand what you mean. If Brazil were runners-up of G, then yeah, I get what you're saying. But Brazil are going to win Group G. So that would mean Japan, Croatia in the round of 16, which would potentially set up a Brazil versus Croatia quarter-final. And that would be a good game. That would be a good game. Brazil. Yeah. That would be a good game. Netherlands, USA will also be a good one. I'm telling you guys, the games are just going to come thick and fast and move by at a brisk pace. unbelievable, but I believe it, you know. Yep, that's what we got to do. Big up, Mr. Galaxy. I hope you're doing well. So everyone, thank you for tuning in. Really, really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary for more content. More videos coming your way. Stay tuned. A lot of great news coming quite soon.
This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts, 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105.